Grizzly II Revenge is back from the 80s to scare the hell out of us in the present. Welcome to the Film Threat Podcast. I am Chris Gore. I hope you're having a good day today in spite of everything. What a crazy time that we live in. But for me, this is a great opportunity to catch up on some amazing independent films. This movie, Grizzly II Revenge, was shot in the 80s with an amazing cast. George Clooney, John Rhys-Davies. I think, was Charlie Sheen in this? I don't know. Amazing cast. This movie was shelved and is now just seeing the light of day now, here in 2021. I have the producer of the project, Suzanne C. Nagy, is here to talk to us. Suzanne, welcome to the Film Threat Podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Well, first of all, had I seen this movie at the time it was made, which is around 1982, 1983, is that right?
1983.
If I had seen this movie at the time it was made, this is like a perfect, I was like in high school at the time. This would have been like the perfect like drive-in movie. Awesome, like super fun. It's also very connected based on the story. It's about this horrible grizzly bear that goes around killing people in the woods right in the midst of a new wave punk concert that's happening in the mountains somewhere. It's sort of bizarre how this whole thing plays out, but it's incredible to see. John Rhys-Davies is one of the leads. He's like this mountain man. George Clooney is in this. Am I right? Is Charlie Sheen in this movie too?
Charlie Sheen and Laura Dern.
Oh my God, Laura Dern. Yes, that's right. Laura Dern is in this thing. What is the story behind this film? How did this, first of all, how did the movie get shot then, right? It clearly was a big budget for the type of exploitation film that you were going for, but like, then what kept it on the shelf for so long?
Well, we shot this film in Hungary. I presented the American producer a wonderful opportunity to save the below-the-line cost, roughly $3 million, and I convinced him to come to Hungary to shoot this film. So they loved the idea. I loved the script. It was a great challenge because this gave me the opportunity to have the first and the only rock concert at that time during the socialism, 20 kilometers from Budapest, where I could have 50,000 people, which then, of course, became part of the film. Of course, the audience, the people didn't know that we are filming, but it was a great opportunity, a fantastic challenge. And filmmaking was very inexpensive at that time in Hungary. So it was the best of all, the great opportunity for me too to become the co-producer, up to the point until the first day after the concert, when my partner called my house in Budapest and said, sorry, we don't have money for this film anymore. You do whatever you want to do. I'm leaving and goodbye. And I had 300 people on the set, including George Clooney, Laura Dern, Charlie Sheen, Louise Fletcher, who was also an Oscar-winning artist, and John Rhys-Davies, and everybody. And of course, the crew and people from France, from Italy, from Germany, everywhere. So it was a multi countries production. And this happened at 12 o'clock. And 2 o'clock, my telephone is ringing, and there was a Japanese investor who came to see if we really shooting this film and if we really have a gigantic mechanical bear and so on and so forth. and I drove him around. I showed the location. I showed where we had the concert. I showed everything, and he said, "I have to save this film. I am going to invest in the movie." And he actually saved the film.
Well, now tell me, so did you have some issues with the bands? Because the bands in it I'd never really heard of, but it really seems authentically new wave bands from that era, right? Like I never really
Yes.
heard of those bands, and I was really into new wave, but like there were a lot of bands with that style of music. I mean, that it looked like you were covering that had sort of a cinema verite look. It was done very realistically. It was almost shot like a documentary, the concert stuff, the behind the scenes. So those were real bands.
Well, no, the bear was Mechanical Bear. Nick Melly, who built the Jaws for the shark for the Jaws film for Spielberg, built us the bear. And the day after actually the same day when we had the concert, we were doing the backstage shoot, which was really a successful, wonderful performance. And we use this Mechanical Bear where John Rhys Davies actually uses his machete and the ropes and all of this kind of a Indian style, old-fashioned grizzly killing. But the bear, of course, smashes him into the wall.
Don't ruin it. No spoilers.
No, I am not
actually,
spoiling. I am not spoiling you. You have to see the film. It's really good.
Okay.
But anyway, so we shot this scene, and it was marvelous. And we used this Mechanical Bear, and everything went very well this particular day. When, of course, before my partner disappeared. And when the Japanese investor came, he saw also some of the shots, the dailies. He loved that. And then he invested in the film. So we were able to go on Monday. This was on Saturday. Sunday, he came. We showed around everything what we needed. Monday, he invested the money. We continued. Nobody knew what went on. And we spent 45 days of working and finishing the principal photography.
Well,
and
sorry, I think you failed to mention is John Rhys Davies. It's John Rice or John Rhys Davies?
John Rhys, I think.
Okay, John Rhys. I've been saying John Rhys for years. He's
Yes.
shirtless in this. He's shirtless in the film. But what I was asking you earlier, I know our connection's not so great. I was asking you about the band in the film, not the bear, the band.
I see. So
okay.
The band is a very interesting thing. They were all English band. One band was particularly designed for this film called the Predator. It never existed in real life. One of our character in the movie, Barry, was the singer, but he had a role with Deborah Foreman in the movie. So they didn't have a full love affair, but something was going on between them. And the rest of the band was brand new, cutting edge, like Toto Quello. Didn't survive, I think 1.5 more years they were playing, but other than that, they didn't survive this very competitive business like the concert and rock band, promoting and going on tours and etc. And they were also very disappointed after this movie halted. They were disappointed and probably discouraged and didn't continue. But the same thing happened with the rest of the cutting edge band. None of them, not even one single one, were able to make it.
Well, I have to. I mean, they just seemed very authentic, and the concert footage just seemed like a documentary. It was shot very documentary-like behind the scenes. What I'm curious about now, so the financing fell through as you were shooting. You got the Japanese investor, and you not only have this film, I mean, it's, look, the special effects were cutting edge for 1983. But let's just say that. But you have this incredible cast. Like, I mean, look, George Clooney and Laura Dern and whatnot. Okay, they're up and coming. Charlie Sheen, they haven't really, found their careers yet. Louise Fletcher, I mean, remarkable actress, Oscar winning actress. Why did this movie sit on a shelf for 30 plus years?
Well, the first part between 83 to 88 was really a fight between Joe, my producer partner, and me. I wanted to take over and complete the whole post-production and the second unit because I realized that although he was a great promoter, he never produced a film. And I thought that I have more potential to complete it. In 1988, he signed the film over to me, which was really great. And I started to clean up the mess what Joe left behind, a lot of contracts, issues with partners, personals, and others. So we did have problem with this film. And then later on, it continued this kind of a issue. In 1990, unfortunately, my husband passed away in cancer, and I decided that I will take over the art gallery what we had in New York City, which I did, and I became very successful with it. And I decided this is really much more important. I had an 11 years old daughter at that time. So I needed to concentrate on my life. And I decided when I will be financially independent and I can do this so-called my way, I am just going to purchase everything. Like I purchased the title in 1990. Then I had to purchase the sound in 2 years later. And slowly I cleaned up everything. And 2018, the price to do conversion, to do the film, put it into digital and also do the restoration, those budget became financially realistic for me. And so I decided in 2018, let's do it. I will finance everything and finish the film.
It's almost like you opened a drawer and was like, oh, here's this movie that I have. Oh, we're losing you. Suzanne, we're losing you. The light, we're losing you.
Oh, sorry.
Anyways, okay, you're back. Are you walking through your house?
No, I just low in batteries and was looking for the charger.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for talking to us on the Film Threat podcast. This is it's a remarkable story. I'd love to see a documentary about the behind the scenes of this film from when it was shot to now, because it's when I heard the story that this movie had been sitting on a shelf forever and you finally resurrected it, the original producer, it's pretty incredible. So check it out, Grizzly II Revenge. If you're watching this on YouTube, check out the trailer for Grizzly II Revenge. It's crazy. It's crazy, over the top trailer. Suzanne, thank you for talking to us on the Film Threat podcast. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.